These goats have been so tricky this year. She's mad at me that I won't let her in. She's gonna be one big cat. All right, a lot of you have been asking if there are pregnancy urine tests for goats. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. Here's what I see.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Here she is, going over to Lancelot again. She really wants to get bread. So I have a bit of a cold. I'm staying home this weekend while Kevin goes and works on the cottage. And I wanted to also like keep track of River and make sure she was doing okay. And she is in a raging heat right now. So she miscarried her kids, her embryos, about a week ago maybe. Now she's in a raging heat. But unfortunately I can't breed her. It's not good to breed a doe so quickly after they've miscarried. So it's better for her to have a cycle before we breed her back. It's such a bummer because it's such a strong cycle. As you guys know, this season has been really weird. We haven't had very many like strong heats. Now this is like crazy strong. She wants to be by the buck. And this will be a great time to breed, but not for River. So we'll wait, we'll mark this down on the calendar. We'll wait about 3 weeks and then she'll come in a heat again and we'll breed her on that one. She's over there screaming. She's mad at me that I won't let her in. That is so funny. This is a definite strong heat. You just glued to this fence, River? Poor Lancelot. Now, they already bred last year and produced this girl right here. So even though he's white and gold spotted and she's a buckskin with moon spots, they both carry black. And so they passed on a black chromosome each, and then here we have Wednesday. So we're not breeding River to Lancelot again this year, just because we've already done it and now we want to try something different. Sorry, Lancelot. You guys just hang out and have fun together like this, okay? You guys have heard me talk about Hungry Root before, but it is honestly Kevin and I's most favorite meal delivery service because it's not just meals, it's like everything that you need for an entire week of groceries. First, you'll fill out a quiz and, you know, figure out your preferences, and then it gets good because you don't have to do any more planning besides that. You get a box shipped to you, you get to open it up and see all the fun stuff inside. All right, a bunch of lunch stuff. I love how everything is like breakfast, lunch, dinner, pretty much covered. So we've got a bunch of lunch things, some ham and some cheese, a bunch of snack items, so like little snack packs to take with us on the go. They just kind of think of everything for you. Then I've got veggies that you can snack on, but we can also cook with, so they're really versatile. This rotisserie chicken is really good. It's a quick meat to throw into any dish. Some more kind of dessert slash, kind of more dessert than snack items right here. A bunch of breakfast foods like smoothies, oats, eggs, some granola. This is a really good chicken too. This is already fajita seasoned. Got some fun pepperoni pizza for a fun weekend night meal. Then we got the carbs to go with everything. So we've got rice, couscous, and tortillas. We'll be eating that with fajita chicken. Got some cheese, and we'll use these for our sandwiches. So it's so nice because you can kind of really not think too much about your week, order it, and know that everything is pretty much ready for you. This week we were excited to get little mini pizzas because sometimes you just want takeout, but this is the healthier option. You know how your mom always said we have food at home? Well, now you actually will have food at home. So you don't need to go get takeout, you don't need to stop through a drive-through. There's always gonna be something waiting for you in your fridge. And the best part is the first 100 people to use my coupon code WEEDUM40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. You can use the link in the description or scan the QR code and use code WEEDUM40 to get 40% off. If you want to completely eliminate all the healthy meal planning for the week, go ahead and order a box from Hungry Root. I think you guys will really love it. Get ready with me while we do some AI. Just kidding. No, we're just gonna do the AI. Okay guys, here's the plan. Now I've been watching Reba, and unfortunately I think I'm a little late on this one because a lot of times does will start out with cloudy mucus, white mucus, and then it turns into their real heat. And that's what I thought was happening because there was no indication before that she was in heat. But now she seems to be coming out of heat. So I think what I thought was the beginning of the heat was actually her starting to go out of heat. So what we're gonna do is really quick, just put a straw in, even if it is a little bit late, because one, why not? And two, I wanna see if those Orion straws are good. And I know we weren't planning on breeding Reba to Orion, but he's a really great buck, so I'm just gonna give it a shot. And I'm gonna go ahead and defrost those first, and we're gonna see what we have. Okay, he's in 4.
Okay.
All right, your job. Okay, ready? Okay, pull it up. Go back down. Okay, we're gonna flick, swish, and flick. And we're gonna put it cotton side up in the water. And now we've got about 30 seconds to let it thaw. Okay, let's clean it off. And then we're going to load it without touching it too much. We're gonna cut it. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit on the slide. And then we're gonna put this back in to stay out of the light and to stay warmed. Okay guys, we got a lot of swimmers in this one. A lot. There we go. I think that shows it better. There's a lot. They're warming up, they're moving around a lot, so let's go try it. Okay, I know this is kind of gross to some people, but I think this is really important for me and for anybody else that wants to learn. This is definitely too late. As I'm looking at the mucus now, you really don't want it clumpy. It can be white, a little bit white, but you want it to not be like this. So I think I'm too late, and this is a great lesson for me because I think what I'm gonna do from now on in future AIs is I'll do a straw just a little bit early on the early side, and then I'll do a second follow-up straw maybe 6 hours after that. And I think that's gonna be probably the best way to do this, especially with Reba, because she has been having such weird heats this year. She's just been so hard to catch. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I was able to get a little bit into the os, but not very far. So really more of splashing the cervix here. And then I gave her shot of Fertigil and we massaged her udder, and that was it. All right, so that one was not a very successful one. I think it's because we might be a little bit too late. But I'm glad I just got one in her at least this cycle, and we'll just see. It turns out Moon Station Orion, that straw was good, so that's awesome. We'll see what happens. We're just gonna give it a go. Hopefully it works. Good job, Reba.
It was a good effort.
Yeah. Yeah. These goats have been so tricky this year with their heats. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Normally they all go by the buck. I rarely have silent heat girls, but these ones have been super tricky this year. It's probably because we're really hot, like we hit 110 yesterday, so I wouldn't want to go into heat either. But hopefully we caught that one. Probably not. I don't like the look of the mucus. It's a little too clumpy for me, but maybe it'll work. Who knows? Good boy. Sit. Yes. All right, a lot of you have been asking if there are pregnancy urine tests for goats. There are not accurate ones, but there are blood tests that you can do. And I just ordered some because I figured we need to have a backup. This has been a crazy year of breeding, so we need this as a backup. And we have a couple does that we're a little bit iffy on, so we need to try this. So we have 2 does we need to test. We have Cricket. You guys keep saying you see something, but we gotta just know for sure whether she's pregnant. Then we also have Daphne, who we saw little tiny circles, but I don't know. They don't look as nicely shaped and as big as Duchess's, and Duchess is the same, like as many days pregnant as Daphne. It's a lot of D's and words in there. So I drew blood from each of them. Now we're gonna give it a go.
Release the bulb to draw up the sample. The pipette shaft must be filled completely with no air pockets. If the liquid pools within the port, tap the side of the device gently until the liquid flows through.
Now we have to wait a whole 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. Here's what I see. So on crickets, we have a no, she's not pregnant. This is the control test. We should also see a line on, like a pink line on the test line, and that's a no. So cricket is no. On Daphne, she's our AI doe. She's the one that we AI'd a while back. On hers, we also have a no. So not pregnant. Neither of them are pregnant. That is surprising, actually. I thought that we would see like maybe a positive in Daphne. I was like holding out, but I don't think so. So whatever we saw was just whatever, air, a little bit of fluid in there. So it looks like we have our work ahead of us as far as breeding all of these does. But I have a plan, I think I have the best way to figure this all out. We're at the cabin again. Gonna try to get some work done this weekend as fast as we can. Kevin's parents have this beautiful cabin in Strawberry, Arizona, and right over on the side of it is a little shed. We've been using it as a game room for probably 15, 20 years. But now, since the family is getting bigger and we need more room, we convinced them to let us turn it into a little, what we're calling, cottage. It's so nice and big and beautiful in here. And then down here, we have our little cottage. Whoa, look how cool. That's a cool deer head. Grandma was so nice, she put some cardboard down to help us visualize how the beds are going to be. We like to visualize stuff to make sure that that's where we want it. Now we originally were gonna do Murphy beds over here, but we decided even if we had Murphy beds that we could fold up on each side, what were we even gonna do with that space there? Like, we're not gonna play pickleball, you know? Like, there's not really a reason to have that be empty space and Kevin have to build Murphy beds. So we decided against that. We thought, oh, let's just make it easier on ourselves and put regular beds in here. There he is. Get to work.
You want light?
Sure. The ugly fluorescents.
Yeah.
Okay, so this trip, we have one goal, and that is to texture, mud, tape, and texture this drywall.
Okay.
I've never done it before. Kevin's done it a million times. He's gonna teach me how to do it.
Okay, what do you want to start doing?
Yeah, just those cracks there. That's way too much.
Yep, you gotta put a lot on. And then you go like that.
You put it on like this and then you just go like this and then you just leave it?
Yep.
Like that?
Yep.
This is so much fun. Just one swipe? I have an urge to try to make it look cleaner than that.
Tape on.
Okay.
Let's do some tape so you can see if you need to adjust how you're doing your mud.
Okay. You just stick it.
Stick it.
Wait, I have scissors here.
You don't use scissors.
You don't?
When you're doing drywall, you have to be cool and use your...
Oh, okay. And then do I do mud over that? When it dries, or I do it right now?
No, you do it right now.
Okay. Oh, and then you take the big one and you just...
tape shows a little bit, that's okay. We're probably gonna have to do a new coat on this anyway.
Okay. I can do that. Oops, now you're here talking with me and I can't show you that I actually didn't do it your way at all. I just needed to smooth it out a little bit better.
Well, me teaching you drywall is kind of like blind teaching the blind because...
Oh, you know, you did a ton of it.
I've done some of it, but it's just such an art.
Okay, well, while I was trying to perfect the drywall mud, you were doing something with PEX pipe. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm just terminating the ends of the PEX pipe and bringing it over to the sink for the kitchen, and then also has to tee and then go straight up the wall to go up in the attic to come over to the bathroom.
And the fridge, right?
And the fridge,
Yeah, so this is where the fridge is gonna go. So this is all behind that. Then I got to work on the next part of the drywall patching.
Mm-hmm.
By this time I'm a pro.
Oh yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah. See the cool view from the kitchen window.
Yeah.
Then it was time to work on the door. Well, while we're waiting for all of our the mud to dry, we're gonna work on the doors.
Hanging doors, not the funnest thing, especially when your walls are not perfectly straight and stuff.
Oh, we're also trying to figure out what we're gonna put on that corner right there.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the molding we're gonna put on the corner.
And then it started hailing.
Yes.
Well, now the hail's gone.
You can hear it still.
There it is, right here. That's the hail. All right, guys, we originally decided to build this wall, I think 8 feet, and then we changed our minds and we built this one out further. So now we've decided to build sort of like a faux beam right here to make up the difference. So that's what we're doing right now.
Oh yeah, that was annoying, but we had to because we had a bigger cabinet, so we didn't extend it.
We made decisions too late and then have to go back and fix them. But then I got started on painting, which I promptly messed up. What am I doing? I'm not painting these to this color. I'm painting them white. Oh my gosh.
Well, just let it dry and you paint white on top of it.
My brain is not working.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
I was thinking, I don't know why I started with this color. This isn't the color I'm using.
Let it dry. That can be fixed easy.
Janelle just likes to repaint stuff, I guess. I swear, I'm like doomed to paint everything twice in this cottage. Okay, now we have the real color, white. I swear this painting's gonna be the death of me.
Oh my gosh.
Just, ugh.
And doors are annoying because you have to prop them open so they don't stick.
But yeah, then you got the second door up.
And second door went in easier. It just was a better door from Home Depot. It just hung easier.
Oh, and you also filled the space above the door. Well, got started on it.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
All right, that's a good little progress.
Yep. We've got both doors painted and drying. That one's propped open so it can't touch anything. Got the one over here. So then we've got some plumbing work done. Don't worry about how it looks right now. We're still working on it. But next time I'm excited because we'll do the trim, we'll do some texture over that and then paint it. So coming along. Every time we come up here, we're here for about 2 or 3 days, and it feels like it takes us forever to get everything done, but that's just how it is when you're working on a project. If we could stay here all summer, if we had stayed here all summer, that would have been a lot easier. Then we would have missed the goats.
Yeah, maybe next summer we bring the goats.
Okay. Ogre, don't pee-pee, don't pee-pee. Don't go pee-pee. 33. And then don't pee-pee, don't pee-pee. 12. Guys, I have a plan. We're gonna get a buck apron for Lancelot because the buck aprons we have are really small. They're meant for like yearlings, and we need a big one for our big buck Lancelot. All those girls are already bred, I think. She's pregnant. She's pregnant. I don't know about her yet.
Kiss him just to make sure.
Yeah. Oof, he smells good.
Yeah.
He smells good. Look how big Kitty is getting. She's gonna be one big cat. Are you purring? She's super sweet. She's super hairy and fluffy, which makes me nervous about having a lot of hair in our house around allergic Lydia. But you guys have given me different tips through Instagram, so I have some things that we're gonna try that we have been trying, like the allergen feed and different wipes and brushes and things to do. So we'll see how she does, but for now she's a nice big kitty, and hopefully she can get spayed soon. I think it's another month and then the vet can spay her. So you're cute. Okay guys, you guys are gonna help me figure this out. I just explained it all to Kevin. He's laying back there. All right, here's our current situation. First, we have 3 girls that I'm not worried about. We have Wednesday, who is pregnant and due January 20th, and then we have Duchess, who is confirmed pregnant and is due January 22nd. So they're due right at the beginning of the year. They win a gold star for doing everything perfectly. Next, we have River. Now, I know she just miscarried, but she's also had a really strong heat, so I'm not really worried about her. Also, she's gotten pregnant before. So I think we just wait 3 weeks, breed her, and it'll be great. So those are the 3 that I'm not worried about. But we have 5 whole goats who have all had different little problems. So our Hokey Pokey pen, which I love that name, it was sort of a failed experiment because not only were the girls having really silent heats where I couldn't detect them, but not even Pokey could really detect them. He caught Reba's at the end of her heat, and he caught Cricket, I think, at the very end of her heat. But I need to know at the beginning because that's the time that they are most likely to get bred. So that didn't work out too well. And then Twyla, who seemed to be having a silent heat, I decided to hurry and take off Pokey's apron, put him in with her apronless, Pokey protectorless, and nothing happened. She was standing and rubbing on him, and he was just like not interested. And so it could be that since he's a young buck, it could be that he's not quite as experienced. But I also think these girls all having really silent heats are throwing the bucks off, they're throwing me off. It's been harder to determine. Now, we have been really hot, and the heat is a reason why a lot of goats haven't been coming into heat. In fact, in our area here, it's like everybody's biggest complaint. It's what all the Facebook groups have been talking about. Like, we're all trying to figure out how the heck we're gonna get our girls bred early enough here in the season. But you guys are gonna help me figure it out. I know it. I have a feeling. So of the 5 girls, they pretty much have all been having sort of silent heats. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering about Violet. I did ultrasound her actually a couple days ago. I didn't put it in the video. It was just quick one morning. I thought, you know, let's give it a try. She's 30 days and she's not pregnant either. So she was also having a really silent heat when we bred her to Pokey. Although she was standing for him, she wasn't like being loud and rubbing on the fence or anything, which is kind of what you want. That shows that they really have that strong urge to be bred. Now, the reason why I'm doing AI this year is to bring in new genetics. I know I have 2 bucks, and it seems like you already have 2 bucks. Why are you trying to do artificial insemination? It's because every year we breed a buck, it means that we keep those daughters, and then we can't really use that buck again, not for at least a few years until we have more genetics mixed in. And I get really tired of having to replace bucks and also just only use them for 1 season. So my whole idea was that if I use artificial insemination and kind of mix in the genetics, it will give me more options the following years. Like, I'll have babies, a handful of babies with lots of different sires. So it'll just give me more options, and I can retain my bucks for longer. Usually living in Arizona means that we try to breed as early as possible so that we don't have goats having kids super late in the season. But it looks like we might have kids March, April. because the goats just simply don't want to be bred right now. So it's not totally artificial insemination's fault. It's also just the fact that these girls just like aren't having strong heats. They're fooling us all. So I have a couple options. I was thinking I could put an apron on Lancelot and I could let him out into the pasture with the girls that haven't been bred yet. And he may be, as a mature buck, may be able to give me an earlier sign on who is in heat. The only downside with that is that if that protector comes off, he could be breeding does that I want to artificially inseminate, or he could be breeding some of his own daughters, which would not be good. I also thought that I could just take the apron completely off Pokey, put him out in the pasture with everybody, let him run with everybody. And I was thinking if I did this in anticipation for all of these girls to have hopefully strong heats as we start to cool down, maybe the stars would align. He would breed the girls that he's supposed to breed. And then if he bred Reba or Daphne, that would be okay because I'll just follow it up with maybe an AI straw and we'll DNA the kids. So there's that option too. Or I could just wait it out, be patient, wait for these girls to come into heat, and if it gets too late in the season, then breed them in the spring for fall babies next year. Maybe that's something that we'll have to do here in the Southwest because it's getting hotter and hotter, it seems like, here, to where we were 110 a few days ago at the beginning of October. So maybe fall breeding for spring kidding isn't really going to be a possibility. So those are my options. In the meantime, I know for sure that Wednesday and Duchess are bred and River has had a strong heat, so she's my easy one. Everybody else, all the 5 others, are iffy. Oh, this is gonna be a tricky year, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Everything can be just worked out, and if goats don't end up getting pregnant, then we'll push them back and we'll breed them in the spring for the fall. So it's not really a big deal. So if you guys have any ideas on what I should do, what I should try. Oh, one last thing. I definitely do not want to do synced heat with medication. The reason why is I've had a lot of friends try that this year and there's been no change in them coming into heat. In fact, it's kind of messed up their cycles. So I'm of the opinion that natural heats are always best. They always seem to be the strongest. So I'm not gonna go that route. I'm gonna see what happens as the weather cools down. Next week, we're gonna be under 100 degrees. So that should signal to the does that it's time for them to all have their nice strong heats. And maybe we're just gonna have a bunch of March, April babies next year. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you think. We're gonna keep trying this little funky breeding year. And in the meantime, if you wanna look back on babies born last year, I have a playlist here. You can go see all the cute, adorable little babies that were born last year.